So we just watched the Nintendo Switch presentation. I'm Nihongo Gamer. That wasn't very good, was it? Yeah.
And I'm Kathy Cat, and we're quite excited about the new developments and the stuff we've just seen.
So many new developments. Region free? We really wanted 3DS to be region free and they never bothered, but now...
It makes such a big change.
Especially as we're in Japan and we want to be able to go back home, buy some games there, or if you have kids and they're growing up bilingual, you want them to be able to switch the language into Japanese or English and back and forth.
Exactly, so that's a thing that's really important for gamers all across the globe. Finally, region free.
Region free. For us, I think that's a really important one. What else did you find exciting about the presentation?
I find it really exciting that actually the Joy-Cons...
Joy-Con, best name ever.
Like Wii remotes, so you can not just go like up, down, left, right. You actually can use them like this and stuff.
So what we saw in the presentation is it's got an infrared, I think they said it's an infrared sensor beaming out the side, which will test the distance from the controller and also what hand gesture you're making. But also, taking the Wii motion controls and bringing them to a handheld. I mean, yes, it's a home console that can become handheld, but what need is there for 3DS after this? I mean, I love my 3DS, but I can't see why I would bring both ever with me. Like, I would just bring the Switch.
Maybe they will then release a couple of games that you only had for handheld now on the Switch.
Like Pokemon?
Pokemon would
I mean, we
be
didn't see anything. We didn't see any information about Pokemon in the presentation, but that would be nice.
We're quite excited, so let's have a look at the list of games.
The list of games!
For Switch! Mario Odyssey.
It's got a new gimmick because, as Miyamoto always says, it has to be a new gimmick, otherwise it's kind of not interesting for him to make it. It's the hat.
It's the hat. The hat has its own life, apparently. It's a whole character.
Yeah, I guess they thought that adding eyes to it would give it life, which is what they do with food. But it seems cool that you could check the hat and you could jump on it and use it as a tool. It's what the British police used to do, isn't it? That's why they have those tall hats. They would put them on the ground and stand on it so they could see over the garden walls.
Really?
According to horrible histories, Mario Odyssey, I mean, that looks exciting because there's all these different worlds that you can visit.
What's interesting that it's not only fantasy worlds, but actually are real places.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that before. I mean, maybe I just didn't finish the previous games or something, but yeah, going through New York that seems
really
quite cool.
Xenoblade 2.
There was a lot of free roaming stuff and there were remakes of old games, but there's a new Xenoblade game, Xenoblade 2.
Graphics look good. The anime style looked really nice. I like the anime style. And it's not too much 3D and it's not too much 2D. It's the in-between 2D, 3D, which
they had a good balance,
Fire Emblem Warriors.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
You just knew from seeing the shield it's gonna be Fire Emblem.
Yes, I knew from the shield, but I forgot that they were going to announce the Dynasty Warriors game, and I'm not as excited about the Dynasty Warriors games. Yes, they are fun to hack and slash and then move on and hack and slash, but it's not as exciting as obviously it would be to get a proper Fire Emblem game, like a new actual tactics game. Like, this is Dynasty Warriors. If you're into hack and slash, you're gonna love this.
1, 2, switch! Pew!
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, why are we doing this? Oh yeah, so
Pew!
It looks like the idea behind 1, 2, switch is looking at your friends and playing.
So what we'll do is put the console down here, look at each other, and play it like this.
Right. So we're actually playing with each other, not playing consoles in front of each other, which is quite a good idea and something that no other maker or manufacturer is challenging, that idea that we should actually do stuff together instead of just doing stuff near each other.
This time you're not going to look at the screen, you're going to look at the eyes of the other person that is with you.
He was really keen on saying that you have to look them in the eye, but I feel like that's just, just something you can do.
What's with socially awkward people who don't like looking people in the eye? I think I like the idea that it doesn't have to be just screen, it can be just us doing stuff.
Here's where Switch could fail. I mean, we can talk about this later. Things that could fail are when you create technology that only has one way to be used. And with the PS Vita, they had a touchscreen on the back, and they basically ran out of ideas on how to use that after 1 or 2 games. Like, they were like, okay, it's done, and now there's no point in making any more games like that. The Wii U with these flick controllers, this is super wide open. There's so many things they could do with that. But with, like, the back touchscreen, unfortunately, even though I thought it was a great technology and I really bought into it, no one actually developed any games that came up with new ideas for that.
That's the only thing I was wondering as well. When I saw the 1, 2 switch, I thought, this is great, but how many games can actually really use that technology?
Once they've made 1 or 2, will other developers be like, oh, now I can't do that idea because it's been done?
Arms.
Why are we holding our arms up?
Because Arms, the game's called Arms.
The game's called Arms. Probably not the most innovative naming for a game ever, but at least you know what the game is about.
And I like the idea that they explain that you can punch, and then if you twist the controller, or the Joy-Cons...
The Joy-Con, I mean, gotta twist your Joy-Cons. Yeah, you can hook, basically. I was really happy to see that they're using less thumb controls and more actual motion controls only. Think, okay, motion for the punches, but then use the controller for the moving, and then motion for the punches. At least now it's like motion for motion, punches for punches.
Pretty straightforward and closer to reality.
Being straightforward is important because you'll be playing with people who are not gamers all the time. You'll be like, hey, I brought my Switch, you want to play this game? And they won't know what Switch is, but at least they can get into it easily.
Splatoon
2!
Wait, what's the pose?
It's like this, isn't it? It was two. Took me a while to figure out what he was trying to do. It will work in all the different modes, so when you're holding the controller, you still have that motion shooting control. You can also hold the whole console and still do it, and you can also play it separately in not kickstand mode, tabletop mode. I mean, they could have just given us Splatoon 1 and I'd have been fine with it.
And I hope you can play this with 8 people like they showed in the initial release, where they have like these big teams and the teams are going up and going like, ooh, let's play Splatoon.
Yeah, because we've never seen Splatoon local. I've never really seen that happen because it's always online. It's not likely that you're going to get 8 TVs and 8 Wii U's together to play Splatoon local. But now, 8 people in the same room playing Splatoon? I mean, that's going to get loud and... I was going to say cooperative. What's the opposite of cooperative? Competitive!
Shin Megami Tensei. I went like, I freaked out. I was like, Persona! And it was like, Shin Megami Tensei.
Well, I mean, anything by Atlas. I mean, they have a lot of cool IP, and I think Shin Megami Tensei, a lot of hardcore fans are going to be very happy to see that coming out.
I must say, what I'm going to be very happy about is because it's region free, I can buy the English version.
Oh!
And then play that.
Yes! Or hopefully they'll just have English on the same cartridge.
That'd be even better.
I mean, that would be better.
But right now, for Persona, they don't do that. You have to buy
the actual version, yeah.
And to be honest, there's so much talk and so much in detail talk and then magical talk, and it's really hard to keep that aside if you're learning a language. So I want to get this in English and because it's region free, I can do that.
Oh, and also Zelda, which we already know, Breath of the Wild. Breath in the Wild.
Breath in the Wild.
A Breath in the Wild.
A Breath in the Wild.
Zelda. I hear that Zelda is actually more popular out west than it is in Japan. So actually, Japan doesn't get that excited about Zelda games, but in the West, not only do they like it better there, also they prefer the voice acting in English. Not the voice acting, just the speech. The jokes are funnier in English. That's just what I've heard from big Zelda fans.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh.
And the 8.
Oh, Mario Kart. It looks like 8 is the thing for Switch. Like, you'll be able to play 8 players. Splatoon is 4 versus 4. Well, I mean, it would be a shame to not have 8-player Mario Kart. And I can't see why not.
That's a party you could throw, Mario Kart party, without anyone having to sit and, like, eat
Yeah. Shame that it's not a new Mario Kart game, but, you know, Mario Kart 8 was a good game, so let's have it again.
Just Dance 2017 comes actually out on March 3rd, so it's going to be one of the launch games.
Yay, we can dance about Switch. I'll be dancing about Switch without Just Dance, actually, so I won't need that game.
Sonic 2017.
Mania.
And then we have Sonic Mania, but both of them are not a TBA.
Oh, there's 2 Sonics.
Yep, Sonic 2017 and Sonic Mania, so apparently 2 different Sonic games.
I'm so confused. I lost track after Sonic 2.
Dragon Quest 10 and Dragon Quest 11.
Did I just miss Dragon Quest 11? Is this a brand new game? I don't know. Dragon Quest 10, obviously, we've had that for a while. I wasn't sure if Dragon Quest 11 was a brand new RPG or something, but there wasn't any game footage to show for it. Switch! So the big question, I'm sure you're all asking...
We need 3, 2, 1.
So the big question I think you're all going to be asking is what colors? Yes. Unless you saw the video and then you already know what colors.
Yes, they finally answered our request saying, hey, they need to be colors because it just looks grey.
You know, if you're into grey, fine. There are many shades of grey.
Oh, you did it.
Fiery orange red.
Hot orange.
And sort of minty blue. Anyway, not my favourite shades of red and blue, but hey, there's colour now.
Exactly. I was hoping for more colours, but it's just those 2. They'll probably release more.
I would get the colour one. Maybe they've done some field testing and found that children like those colours. For the adult crowd, you know, the people who bought Harry Potter but without the picture on the front, you can buy the grey version because it's less embarrassing for you.
It's interesting that they have different colours on both sides, so you don't really mistake left and right as easily as well.
Who's going to make that mistake?
Oh, well, because they're slightly different, right? The controllers left and right.
They are slightly different, true. They are slightly different. Yeah, do you think that's... I don't know if that's to prevent you from making a mistake.
And it's easier for me because I'm a clumsy person with the grey one.
Oh, so you think it's for you?
Oh, wait. Which one was it? Oh, okay.
Well, I guess the issue could be that when you take a break to have a cup of tea and then you come back to pick up the controllers and you're like, wait, which one's which?
Which one is Switch?
No, unfortunately, we can't switch. We can't switch for that. So colors, that's exciting. Plus, there's an accessory that makes it into a wrist strap so that you're not going to throw it.
Yeah, which was the same thing for the Wii controls as well.
Yeah, of course, that was already part of that. But let's face it, no one's going to carry around the wrist straps with them anyway, so when you play with friends, you're probably going to throw the controller.
Yeah.
Unless you bring the wrist straps around with you everywhere.
Now let's look at the prices. The actual console
How
is
much
going
does
to
it
be
cost?
about $300.
$300 US? I thought it was going to cost more, to be honest. I thought in order to compete with tablets, which have, already fairly good hardware in them, to make Nintendo game hardware, I thought it was going to be more, but $300. I'm sure they're going to lose money every time they sell one.
Really?
Yeah, $300. You can't build a console. An iPhone costs like $260 to manufacture. To build a Switch with a huge screen like that, which is, I don't know, and running games hard, I don't know.
They must have pushed themselves a lot to make it this cheap, so it's easier to buy for all kinds of ages.
Yeah, that as well.
I think they're getting it back through the games.
They have to get it through they have to get the money back through the games. If not, they're about to lose a lot of money.
Especially seeing how much stuff the controllers do, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
$300?
Haptic feedback, motion control, nice screen, portability, plugs into a TV, 3 hours battery life, not great, but at least it's got a battery. $300, how are they going to do that?
I can't imagine.
Let's not ask questions, let's just accept it as awesome.
Exactly. So we have an awesome price for that, but then the Nintendo Switch Pro controller.
So this is where they're going to make the profit from the accessories. How much are the accessories?
$69 for the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, so $70.
Pro controller, $70. Okay, well, I mean, that's average for the industry, but still pricey.
Joy-Con controller sets are $80.
$80 for a set of Joy-Cons.
$79.99,
that's
$80.
No, that's steep. Oh.
That's the set. If you want to buy them individual.
Individual?
All right, in case you maybe lose one. Because that might happen now. If you take your Switch away,
you might just throw it out the window.
Yeah, if you're really angry, you might throw it out of the window. But you might lose one, and then you're like, "Oh, great! Now I can't lose my controller. Use it properly." Individual ones are $50.
That's expensive.
Nintendo Switch dock set.
Dock set. What does that include?
It just says dock set. But the painful thing is that it's going to be $90.
$90. Don't lose the dock. Oh, but people are going to use that because if they've got a second place where they leave the Switch, or maybe if you've got one in your master bedroom, you want to have it sitting there with your bedroom TV, and then you want to bring it downstairs and use it with that TV. You don't want to bring the dock with you. You want to have a separate one. So yeah, $90.
$90, that's pricey. Joy-Con wheel, which is a set of two, apparently is $20. I'm not quite sure what a Joy-Con wheel is.
Don't buy the wheel accessories. It has amiibo functionality, but there's nowhere to actually put the amiibo. Like the Wii U had a little square, and it was really obvious that you put the amiibo on the square. But on the Switch, it looks like he was like, yes, it also works with Amiibo, and he's just like tapping it on the analog stick,
and then puts it to the side.
And then he puts it to the side. Like, that seems like a bit of an afterthought. I would say Nintendo's probably not going to go strong with Amiibo this year. I think it worked really, really well at the start, and they were proud of it, but I don't think they care much for it anymore.
No, it looked like a child taking two random things and just clunking them together.
Yeah, he was like, I was like, well, this can't be a professional presentation.
That didn't look right.
What do you think of what you've seen, the new information, and do you think it's going to be successful?
I must be totally honest. First I was like, totally, Switch go! And then I saw the PS4 in the stores, and I was like, ooh, but PS4 graphics, la-di-da-di-da. So I was leaning more towards PS4. Yeah, I'm being honest here. But now seeing what the remote controllers can do, and seeing that I can also not only take this away and all the things, I knew that already, but seeing what the controllers can do, and seeing that it's region-free, has sold this to me.
And also seeing that they're really going strong with all of their ideas. It's not, none of this is throwaway. If they had put touch in it, that would be throwaway. That's what they did with the PS Vita. It was throwaway. It's like, it'll have microphones and touch control. It's like, and no one will use it, and it'll just be a PSP with better graphics. This is not a Wii U with better graphics or a 3DS with better graphics. This is a completely new idea, and they are going strong with all of them. They've got games that are going to support them. They've got support from all of their developers, I hope, and it looks like they're going to really stick with it.
And it makes it so approachable for everyone, which means if you come and visit me and I have a Switch, I can give you my controller.
Yeah.
I can take it with me and bring it to people at work or at school. We can play. You can play it in theory at school. Like, it's lunchtime, you have a 15-minute break, you can, in theory, play.
Don't play games at school. You didn't hear her say that, but you may have heard her say that.
Price-wise, is it accessible as well? And game-wise, anyone can find a game.
So much variety of games. I can't see many reasons for it to not succeed, to be quite honest. Except people already have their phone. Why would they bother bringing Switch around with them? And it'll come down to game titles. People will have to love Pokemon. They'll have to love Mario, love Minecraft. They have to love these franchises so much that they want to bring an extra device with them.
I'm very curious of seeing where this is going, and I love the idea of going like, you got a Switch, I got a Switch. Let's play this in this games.
Or even if only one of us has a Switch, we can still play some games.
Can you do game share?
I doubt it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that if you could have done game sharing, they would have talked about it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
But I'm imagining that it won't have game sharing just because of the size of the games. Splatoon is a big game to run, and I don't think it's something you can just send over that quickly.
Big point as well, online game will not be free this time. So same as PlayStation.
Yeah, it'll be like PlayStation, I suspect it'll be a subscription to the Nintendo membership program, then you'll get free multiplayer or something like that.
We're excited about the game.
So excited.
And the console. And everything coming with it.
But are you? Are you keen on what you've seen so far? Now that we've got all this information, does this look like the release games that you were hoping for? Or is still waiting for Pokemon, wondering, when is that gonna...
What game actually would turn the tables for you? Is there any game you...
Pokemon!
For example, that if that game was released on the Switch, you'd definitely get the Switch, or will you get the Switch anyways with the games that you've seen so far? Looking forward to your comments. We've done more about Switch. There are videos or links somewhere.
Yep,
Find your way there. And we'll catch you soon.
Pokemon! Though I'm quite excited about Minecraft. I think I'll just be fine with Minecraft. How about you?
Minecraft.
Honestly, all I need is more Minecraft. At that price, how can it fail? Then again, Vita did cost that same amount, and it failed. But then Vita was just a PSP with no Monster Hunter. That's what it was. Hands down, that is the only reason it failed. It had everything it needed.